Okay, we'll go ahead and get started just to stay on schedule. It's 9:30, so I will be hosting today's lecture series. We've got lectures from now all the way till this afternoon. I think there's 5 other lecturers besides me. So we've got a good group of what we call subject matter experts. And so, we'll go through the lectures and get started. So I'll kick off mine today. I'm Talmadge Magno, I'm the Civil Defense Administrator, and today is all about preparedness. So I'm going to talk a little bit about civil defense, our organization, what we need to do to be prepared, and tie it into the community, the individuals and the families and their responsibilities or what they should be doing to get ready. So what I'll cover first is the missions that we kind of follow, and then emergency management, the all hazards approach that we follow, and then the coordination of communications and education that we do, followed by coordination of the government, public, and the private sectors as far as our response and in the mission areas that we follow. So the mission areas, you've got to understand that we are basically tied to FEMA for support, and we follow their doctrine, and so therefore we follow their missions. Missions are 5 steps basically, or five points. First being prevention. Prevention of mainly terrorist activity, kind of what you hear, see something, say something, along those lines. Sorry. Just a note on our communicate or our operation is we're not 24 hours. We run Monday through Friday, business hours. We have one of the administrators that is on call every week, and this happens to be me this week. So I had to at least look at my phone who that was called to make sure it's not police dispatch or anything. So we're good for that call. That person can leave a message. So prevention, and we've got protection. I'd like to, highlighting protection is basically trying to maintain our society's level of living and activity and taking care of what our risks are. So I like to talk about everybody likes to live on the coast or have activities, go down the beach, picnic, and so forth, go camping. And so we got to look at what are the hazards down on the beach. What can we do to protect folks during those activities? So that's part of our mission, looking at those hazards and risks. Next one will be mitigation. Those are generally big projects. You're looking at the easy ones are looking at like flooding, hazards that you can take care of through planning measures and so forth. Mitigation, I also like to say the federal government can help us out a lot with mitigation projects. So that's another mission that we take on, followed by the one that seems like to some level you're always responding. And in the county, we've got police, fire, public works. They're 24 hours, they're always responding to some level of impacts to the community. Fire, responding to fire, EMS, and so forth, police taking care of protection matters, and then public works, our roadways and infrastructure. And then that's followed by recovery. Hopefully everything that we've done up ahead of time will minimize the amount of recovery that we have to do, all the preparation and planning. But in that case, we're able to do low-level recovery within the community, or include the state with certain levels, or reach out to the FEMA level support that we would need in the large-scale recoveries. So as I said, we do the all-hazard approach. And that's kind of related to our multi-hazard mitigation plan. And part of that is people need to understand the vulnerabilities in the community. What are your vulnerabilities in where you work, where you live, where you play? And so those risks matter how much planning you need to do, what you need to do to understand how to mitigate those risks. So on this island, these are some of the disasters that we face. And what I was getting to as far as multi-hazard mitigation plan, we actually are undergoing a revision of the multi-hazard mitigation plan right now. It's done every 5 years. And so that plan, what I have to emphasize to the public is that you have an opportunity to come to public meetings, to speak out, to say what your concerns about any of these disasters. If you're vulnerable to them and you have maybe an understanding of what needs to be done, or maybe think the government doesn't know what's going on, you need to come to those meetings and express that information to us. So that'll be an opportunity in the next year to come to meet with civil defense, the county government, as far as dealing with the hazards we have on the island. Next, okay. So this is kind of a fun one. Critical functions of civil defense. One click. Okay. So in the state, we have the outdoor alert siren system. What that means, when you hear the siren go off, it's part of the integrated public alert warning system. So with that system, you have the emergency alert message that goes across your TVs and broadcast across the radios. And then the other component of that is the wireless emergency alert system, which comes across your cell phones. So those are all considered push alerts that the government can push out. On the county, we can do it, and the police department can do it through the systems. Other than that, it would be state warning point. But that's basically what your siren says to do, to go get your messages. The next component of the messaging is the county systems, which we call mass messaging. Our vendor is called Everbridge, and it's a volunteer sign-up program where you can go onto our website, access the Everbridge, sign up for whatever disasters or hazards that impacts you, sign up for those, and designate the ways that you want to be reached, whether it's, besides Facebook and Twitter, we also do phone messages to landlines, cell phones, emails, text message. I think that covers most of it, but yeah. So siren goes off, you'll either get the push message or you get the Everbridge message if you're signed up for it. Also, just to note, in the county, the police runs Nixle. So those are the ones that are available through the county. Yes, Cindy?
Are you guys able to do reverse 911?
We don't have reverse 911. No. Okay, what we got next? All right, in the county, and I mentioned this already, the first responder agencies being fire department, police, other county departments like public works. Those are the keys. So you can see here, kind of depicts pictures of the EOC and some of our partners. You see a full house in the top upper left corner, but at the lowest level, when we are activated, it'll be police, fire, public works, state highways, and whatever other responsible department needs to be in there. So we coordinate all those entities. You know, they're responsible for their activities, but we coordinate their efforts. So something like, you know, 911 is always busy. If it's 911 calls coming in specifically for flooding, that'll be cycled over to the EOC, and that'll be pushed out to whether it's a flooding incident that needs search and rescue to the fire folks, or if it's flooding that Public Works has to go take care of, put up barricades and so forth. You know, it's taken care of in the EOC. But besides the county, we also have the state, the federal government, and our private partners. What we got next? Oh, okay, that's it.
The next photo.
Yes.
Can the sirens carry voice messages?
Not our sirens. I understand some systems do, but we don't have that capability.
I see.
Yeah.
Is that something that can be added? You'd have to change the equipment entirely? Would there be any advantage in your view?
There is discussion about having that. And I know, you know, I've seen what do you call it, write-ups of systems. I've not experienced them, so I don't know how well they work, especially in our environment.
Right.
But like I said, the siren is just to alert you to go to those other systems.
Right.
So,
Well, that's how it's used now.
right, because you cannot depend on one system, right?
Of course.
So you have redundancies, you have multiple ways to get messages. Not everybody lives close to a siren.
Sure.
And so, you know, that portion of the population won't even be affected by it. And so it's more, I think, logical. I'd say, except maybe for this young man, everybody else in here has probably got a cell phone in here. So, yeah, but no, you know, it's being looked at.
Well, we were talking last night about the line of fire and the decision to not use the tsunami alert because most people are trained to go uphill. You don't want that in that case, right? You wouldn't want people going away from the ocean and going uphill into the fire. You wouldn't want that, right?
Well, I'm not going to comment on the line of fire,
That's okay. But I'm just saying.
but like I said, the siren is to alert you to seek out your message.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, in the case of a fire, you basically need to go get your cell phone or seek out those other methods. We also do, when we do evacuations, we'll do the fire police, whoever's on the ground representing the government, they'll go door to door. They'll be broadcasting as well. So, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Sign up for Blackboard, like I need to make it if I missed that.
No, that's fine. So it's Everbridge. Blackboard, I think, was a previous vendor.
About 6 years ago.
Yeah. So Everbridge, you can go to the county website and you can either go online or click on the QR code and that'll get you into the site that you can apply. Everbridge. Yeah. And just note that later this year, well, shortly, we'll be looking for another vendor because our contract is almost up, so it might change. But just know that. But Everbridge is the one that we work with right now. So if there's no further question, we can take a break, and then Cindy will be ready in about 15 minutes. Thanks.